Hey folks, it's been a week for this. This is something I started last Sunday. Today is Sunday. It's pickled mustard greens. Now, I've looked at a bunch of different mustard green recipes and they always call for, what's known as Chinese mustard greens. I can't find anything like that here other than like bok choy, but I don't think that's what it is. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like, but this is Texas mustard greens, and I there's a Chinese place that I go to, Chinese restaurant that has a really good pork dish, and it's literally pork and mustard greens, and it's really good. So I decided I wanted to make some pickled mustard greens myself because I just love pickled mustard greens in ramens and stuff like that. So here's how I made this a week ago, and then come back and let's give it a taste.
We've got one bunch of Texas mustard greens. This is flat leaf mustard greens. So I'm just going to remove most of the stem. I don't want any of that in the my pickled mustard greens. Just want to rinse this really good because sometimes you'll find that there's sand and grit in there. So I just want to rinse real good. Yep, they look clean. Then drain. And now I just want to put these on a paper towel. Dry them off really good. I'm just going to do a couple of layers. And then what you want to do is once these are dried, is I'm going to dry these overnight and leave them out. And you want them to kind of like just get really limp and dried out, and this is exactly what you're looking for. So now I'm going to chop this up into the sizes I want it. Yep, this is about the size I want. And then I'm just going to blanch these greens for a couple of minutes. It doesn't take long. You're not going to fully cook them. You just want to blanch them. That way they'll hold their color. So we're done here with the blanching. So I just want to load up my mason jar with the mustard greens. I have to shove it down in there. And there we have it. I could probably have gotten 2 bunches in there. Next time I will do 2 bunches. So now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. The original recipe called for 4 tablespoons of salt, so I don't think so. The kosher salt should be fine. And then just add this brine to the jar of mustard greens. Make sure it's leveled off. And then seal it up. And I'm using this little contraption I got a while back. I love this thing for doing any kind of like pickling. You could just put some cheesecloth over that and a rubber band and let it go, because this is going to take 7 days now. Okay, that's been 7 days. And I did have to add a glass weight to keep the mustard greens down below the water surface. First, let me get that. There's like some scum on there. It's probably not a big deal, but I want to remove it at this point because it's easy to remove it at this point. It's not harmful or anything. It's just something that builds up after, a week sitting on the counter. So I'm going to attempt this, and I should just, with clean hands, reach in there and pull that glass weight out. So there we go. Okie doke. Boy, that smells pretty pungent. Let's give it a taste.
Okay, I don't have any more lids for the mason jar, so I'm just going to use this for now, which works fine. You can seal the cap. And take the top off. I'm glad I removed some of that for lack of a better word, scum that was floating on the top. But it's very pungent, but these mustard greens are very pungent. Even after you cook them for hours with like bacon and like all kinds of other seasonings, they're very, very fragrant. And they're kind of on the peppery side, which is something I like. So I just want to taste some of the mustard greens right out of the jar. I'm surprised at how well the color stays. It's pretty green. It's probably because I blanched them first. Yeah, those are good. It's very salty. I'm glad I went with the 2 tablespoons of the kosher salt, because some of the other recipes I was looking at called for a lot more salt, and I thought that was just way too much. So the 2 tablespoons of kosher salt is perfect. And like I said before, I think I could go with 2 bunches. I think I could get two bunches, maybe a bunch and a half into this jar, but it's fine. Okay, got some ramen here. It's just something that was on sale at the grocery store today, and I just picked that up because I wanted to have like a nice spicy ramen. Now, yeah, ramen, high sodium, a lot of salt with this. So I just recommend not drinking the broth, not finishing the broth. Just eat the veggies with the noodles. So let's add some of the pickled mustard greens to the ramen, like so. Okay, get her mixed in. Kind of like when you add kimchi to some ramen. But it definitely has a nice crunch to it as well, so it's going to add some texture. Wow, that is really good. Those pickled mustard greens with that spicy ramen, really, the flavors are incredible. Well, that's one way of really kicking up a inexpensive bowl of instant ramen. Wow. So I'll just put the top on this and then refrigerate this, and it should last several weeks in the refrigerator. It's almost like sauerkraut in a way, but it does not taste like sauerkraut at all. Well, there you have it, folks. Make yourself some pickled mustard greens. It's pretty easy. Thanks for watching.